Hi and welcome to Lisburn Distillery TV, Episode 8. I'm Colin Hopkins.
And I'm Lydia Campbell, and in this week's show we will be reviewing the Whites' recent exit from the Intermediate Cup alongside extended highlights of the game.
We'll also be hearing from the Echlinville Distillery Player of the Month for December 2016 and also Distillery Manager Colin McIlwaine.
We'll then be catching up with striker Nick Betta, giving his thoughts on the weekend's game.
And also finally we'll be hearing on the latest update on the Colin vs Lydia Forecast Challenge.
That was a bit of a strange start, Colin.
Yeah, to put it mildly. Not every week you get your show introduced by Lego characters, and the worrying thing is they probably did a better job than what we did,
probably.
So we better watch your backs for future. Listen, we'd just like to go on record to thank Paper Cloud Photography for producing the opening sequence with the Lego characters today. Apparently they watched an episode of the show and thought it would be nice to cast myself and Lydia out of Lego, so thanks very much for doing that, guys. I have to admit, when we seen them last night for the first time, we had a really good laugh with them, so I really appreciate you doing that.
Yes, and if you would like to find out a little bit more about Paper Cloud Photography, feel free to use the website address. It's on the screen now. Thanks again for that, guys.
Thanks very much. Moving back to the football.
Yes, it was a disappointing weekend for the Whites when they were knocked out of the Intermediate Cup at the hands of Portstewart FC, who beat the team 5-3 after extra time.
The good news is, however, we do have extended highlights of the game. However, we do have to say a big sorry to Portstewart striker Chris Hansen.
Yes, unfortunately our battery ran out literally just as he put the ball in the back of the net, so we haven't been able to include his final goal in the highlights, but at least we have the rest of them. Sorry about that, Chris, and here's the rest of the highlights. was a really entertaining game then, Colin. 8 goals. What did you make of it?
Entertaining, yes. Unfortunate that we unfortunately came right on the wrong side of that 8 goals. Having said that, I thought at times we played very, very good football. We knocked the ball about the pitch well. We created a lot of chances. Other days you'd have won that game. But to Portstewart's credit, they seemed to sort of expose a bit of a weakness on the day where they were able to knock it out to the flanks out wide and use their pace to get in behind us, and that caught us out time after time, to be honest with you. So from that viewpoint, disappointing, but at the same time I think overall we came away thinking decent enough performance for the Whites, you know. Intermediate Cup, it's not our top priority this season, to be honest. The league is very much that, so at least now we have the chance to concentrate on that. I do think there's a couple of areas we need to sort of talk about in terms of the game on Saturday. First of all, the injury to Jack McRae, that's a Sully goalkeeper. Unfortunately, Jack was suffered concussion as a result of sort of a bad incident involving one of the Portstewart strikers. There was no malice intended whatsoever, I have to say that. It was just a heavy collision and Jack's head hit the ground and unfortunately suffered bad concussion. We ended up having to take him to hospital on the day, but the good news is he is on now on the road to recovery, so our thoughts and prayers with Jack at this point in time. I'd also like to pay tribute to young Paul Martin, who made his debut in the first team on Saturday. He certainly did not look out of place for a youngster in the middle of the park, and I think that's a young lad with a lot of potential for this club, and I look forward to seeing how he's going to develop over the space of the next few years at Lisburn Distillery. And the final person I want to pay credit to is probably Nick Beta, who obviously got his chance in the start lineup and obviously responded well by taking two great goals. But just on the subject of Nick, it's an interesting story. After the game, when all the players are sitting in the bar having a bit of a chat and whatever it is, Nick's always has his head down on the table having a bit of a sleep. You know, he's one of these guys who likes to sleep, so not sure what the story's behind that, but that's Nick Beta.
Well, the good news is, after the game, Colin was able to catch up with a very much awake Nick Beta just to get his thoughts, and here's what he had to say.
Well, Nick, that was a bit of a strange game. 2 goals, which you'd usually be delighted with, but obviously on the day we've lost, so it must be a bit of a mixed fortune from that sort of viewpoint.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to lose. It's just, it was a good game. They fought back, and just they wanted it more than us, and we can't really fault the referee's decision, but it is what it is. We just have to go into next week and try and get the best result we can.
Must be nice to get a start. You haven't had that many starts this year, but once again you've proved maybe you're worth a starting place in the team.
Yeah, it's just all about once you get your chances, just prove that you just back up whatever managers put all the faith he's put in you and all. So whenever he puts me in, I just try and do my best and just help the team win.
You've certainly, anytime you have started, you've picked up goals, which is always nice.
Yeah, as a striker, it helps with confidence and stuff like that. So yeah, it's nice to get goals here and there, but it doesn't mean nothing if the team doesn't win.
And next week then, obviously 2 goals today, you'll be looking to maybe get a starting place against Newington, another tough game next week.
Yeah, it's a tough game. There's a lot of competition, so I'll have to wait and see, but I'll be fighting for my place as well. So yeah.
Thanks very much. Well done today on the 2 goals. Disappointing result, but thanks very much for the energy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next up in the show, we are delighted to announce the Echlinville Distillery Player of the Month for December 2016. However, just before we announce the winner, we thought it was right to just talk about the importance of the competition within the squad. And to do that, David Hunter caught up with distillery manager Colin McIlwaine just to give his thoughts.
December proved to be a magnificent month. 4 victories in total, 1 in the cup and 3 in the league, and you must not only be delighted with that, but also would have suspected really that the Echlinville Distillery Player of the Month would have been very close for December.
Yeah, most certainly. We were over the moon with the 4 wins in December. I think the reward gives us players an extra incentive, and it's great for them. Getting 3 league wins was massively important to us, and a good cup victory. I know it went right to the wire, and it was only a couple of points between them. So, as I say, it was good for me to be able to tell people just how well they are doing, and I think everybody's battling sort of way to try and get this wee accolade each month.
Another league game to come after the Saturday's Intermediate Cup game. It's all really about getting wins at this stage of the season.
100%. The 3 points are massive to us now every Saturday. It was a tight fight, fought draw on Saturday at Dundalk. It's going to be a tight game when we go to Seaview to play Newington, and I think it's just every game coming up to us is going to be like a cup final. The more wins, the more points we can get on board, the more realistic chance we have of finishing in the top 6.
And of course, the better the individual performances, the better the chance of winning the Echlinville Distillery Player of the Month award.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, first and foremost, it's a team performance, what we're looking for, and that's a result we're looking for. But individually, if everybody's performing well, and then the rest comes together.
I think we can all agree with what Colin had to say about the award there. But who actually was the winner for the December award?
Well, the good news is I have to announce that the Echlinville Distillery Player of the Month for December 2016 was Mr. Consistency himself, Darren Doherty.
Brilliant, and I think he was well worth his award.
Yeah. Darren, as I've said, he really is one of our most consistent players. Week in, week out, you're getting an 8 or a 9 performance out of Darren, to be honest. And I know the supporters really appreciate his efforts, and they know he is very, very much Mr. Reliable. I just hope there's not actually going to be a curse, however, associated with the award, because no sooner had we announced the award at the weekend that he went ahead and scored an own goal up at Portstewart. But how often have we seen that happen in England over the years, even when the likes of Conte wins manager of the month or something, invariably his team lose the next game or something, so hopefully not be the case this time.
Hopefully not, hopefully not. Well, the good news is David Hunter was able to catch up with Darren himself at training, and here's what the player himself had to say.
Darren, congratulations on your award, first of all. I'm sure you're delighted to have picked up the award, the Echlinville Distillery Player of the Month for December.
Yeah. Yes, I am indeed. It was a tight month. I knew anyone really could have been shout for it, so I'm delighted that I got it in the end.
Was it a surprise to you, or did you think you could be in with a chance?
Well, you always hope a wee bit, don't you? But I knew there would be a lot of players in for it, so just happy enough that I got it.
Okay, well done again on your award.
Right, thanks for Echlinville for sponsoring it as well.
It's now the time in the show where we get the latest scores in the Colin versus Lydia Forecast Challenge, the competition where at the very end of the season we'll see the loser wear either a Fulham shirt if I win or a Chelsea shirt if Colin wins. But the good news for me is this weekend I believe you had an absolute shocker.
Do we really have to talk about this, really?
Yes.
Well, Team Hopkins yet again picked up no points. Absolutely no points. And
Hopeless.
you actually there only was 2 games and you managed to forecast the correct score in one of them
3
and picked up
points.
3 bonus points, which was not good. So that means the scores after this week, it's now Team Lydia 9, Team Colin 2.
Winning. Love it.
Losing. But the white flag's not coming out quite yet, so
Okay.
we'll keep fighting on that one.
Yeah, and to be fair, there's a lot of fixtures this weekend.
A lot of fixtures, a lot of points to be caught up. Just hopefully you don't take the lead any further.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can start to close that gap and then we'll see where we go from there. So, fixtures this week. Let's see what we've got.
Yes, okay, so first one up, Donegal Celtic against Bangor.
I'm going to go for a home win.
Okay.
I'm going to go Donegal Celtic 2, Bangor 0.
Well, Bangor have conceded 10 goals in their past 2 games. But
You've been researching this, haven't you?
no. But to be fair, I feel like that'll be sorted. But I'm still going to go for a Donegal Celtic victory. But I'm going to be ambitious and say 3-1.
Okay, we'll see how that one pans out. Next one up, Dundela against Newry. You lead with that one.
2-0 Dundela. Nice and quick.
I think it will also be a Dundela win, but I'm going to go 2-1 Dundela.
Okay. Next up is Queens versus Banbridge.
Queens have slipped to the bottom of the table this week following the results, so they're now really struggling. Banbridge defeated last weekend, but once again up near the top of the table. Will be determined to put that right. I think Banbridge will turn it around, and I say they'll win 2-0.
2-0. I'm gonna go 3-0. Just because I don't want to go the same.
You're playing safe to this week, Carly. You're getting all the same sort of forecasts as me. Limavady versus Tobermoor.
1-1 draw.
2-0 Limavady. And the final one,
Moyola Park versus Sport and Leisure. So Sport and Leisure did me very proud last week.
They
I'm
did.
happy to say.
They did.
But I don't think they're going to win 2 in a row. Moyola 2, Sport and Leisure 0.
1 each.
Okay, well,
Let's see where that goes and see where the scores in the doors. Hopefully this time next week I will close the gap just that little bit to get this Chelsea shirt out. We'll see how it develops.
Nope.
I'll keep you posted with the latest on that this time next week.
that's just about it from another episode of Lisburn Distillery TV. But just before we go, we have some more good news to share, and that is that we were contacted by a good friend, Jan Tholin, from the Lisburn Distillery Scandinavian Supporters Club, just to say how much the supporters over in Sweden and Denmark are enjoying the show.
Yes, indeed. Really good to hear from you, Jan. And I know the guys are really enjoying the show, and thanks for your ongoing support. And we do look forward to welcoming you back to New Grosvenor over the next lot of weeks when you're all making a return visit to watch the Whites in action. It's actually great to hear from all these different supporters right around the world, Lydia. We've heard right around the world in the last few weeks, but it's great to be able to join all the dots of Distillery supporters right around the world through the show. So thanks to everybody for being in touch already with the show.
And if you would like to get in contact with us, you can contact us at the address on your screen right now, or you can send us a Facebook message, just whatever is easier. To be honest, we would love to hear from you either way.
Thanks very much for enjoying the show. We look forward to seeing you again on episode 9. In the meantime,
Come on, you
you
Whites.
Whites.